Hi, I'm Rev Myron. I'm a minister through Pathways of Light, and I've been a Course in Miracles student for 43 years. I'm going through the lessons again this year, asking Jesus to clarify for me, and then I write from that clarity, and that's what I'm sharing with you today. So let's get started. We're reading Lesson 122. God is my life. I have no life but His. I was mistaken when I thought I lived apart from God, a separate entity that moved in isolation, unattached, and housed within a body. Now I know my life is God's. I have no other home, and I do not exist apart from Him. He has no thoughts that are not part of me, and I have none but those which are of Him. Our Father, let us see the face of Christ instead of our mistakes, for we who are your Holy Son are sinless. We would look upon our sinlessness, for guilt proclaims that we are not your son, and we would not forget you longer. We are lonely here and long for heaven where we are at home. Today we would return. Our name is yours, and we acknowledge that we are your son. When I read this beautiful lesson, I wondered what my experience of it would be. But before I could begin the meditation, I thought about a baptism I was doing this week, and I realized that I had some questions for the mother. I sent her those questions. Then I realized that I was unsettled by a situation that occurred, and thoughts of that kept popping up in my mind. It occurred to me that I had used the distraction of the baptism to put off the meditation, and now I was unable to settle into it. But that wasn't it. The thought that was given me was to bring it all into the meditation. So I had a frank and honest conversation with my father. I started out to tell him what was bothering me, how I'd been mistreated and was having trouble forgiving. I was just going to lay out all the facts for him. But as I did so, I began to see the underlying beliefs that were the cause of my distress. I thought someone had hurt my feelings, but as I spoke of it, I had a sudden insight that put a different light on it. I had pushed someone into a conversation he was not ready for, and he reacted. I realized that I had done that because I wanted to fix him. I had been unwilling to see that before, but now that I had, the next insights came quickly. I saw that I wanted to fix him because his suffering triggered uncomfortable feelings in me. I saw how the whole distressing situation could have been avoided had I simply chosen to forgive the first unhealed belief, the belief I could be rid of my discomfort by projecting it onto another and fixing it there. Then I remembered what we learned about forgiveness. Forgiveness recognizes what you thought your brother did to you has not occurred. It does not pardon sins and make them real. It sees there was no sin. And in that view, all your sins are forgiven. And in that view, are all your sins forgiven. It always surprises me when I miss the obvious. If I had simply forgiven the idea that sin is real, well, he would have been forgiven, and so would I. And then I remembered an unforgiving thought is one which makes a judgment that it will not raise to doubt, although it is not true. The mind is closed and will not be released. The thought protects projection, tightening its chains so that distortions are more veiled and more obscure, less easily accessible to doubt, and further kept from reason. What can come between a fixed projection and the aim that it has chosen as its wanted goal? Well, yikes. I had an unforgiven thought when I judged my brother and I didn't question it. The moment I made that decision, my mind closed to other possibilities and I couldn't see what I was doing. But the truth was in my mind, so I was uncomfortable with my thoughts even while I was obscuring the reason. That discomfort was my invitation to heal my mind. It just took time for me to work it out. I'm grateful for A Course in Miracles. Otherwise, I would still be stuck, hiding the truth from myself and without peace. Our Father, let us see the face of Christ instead of our mistakes. For we who are your holy Son are sinless. This lesson was so timely for me. After all these years of study, you wouldn't think I'd be surprised at how perfectly arranged my healing was. I want the peace of God. I want to awaken more than I want anything else, certainly more than I want to be right or to project my guilt rather than heal it. That was the last thing I said to my Father this morning, and so I am released from my distress. That is what forgiveness does for us when we accept it. Thank you so much for joining me in this reading. I hope that you found it helpful. If you did, then please like it. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. And I'll be back soon with another reading. See you then.